How's it going? I know it's been a while and I'm really trying to get things in order here, trying to schedule everything better so I can really start pumping out the videos once a week. At least that's the goal. But we're going to start off with a mini-series, the first of hopefully many. We're going to start with French bistro / cafe food, the sort of things that when France comes to mind, this is like what I'm craving. You know, oh my god, I'm going to go to France and eat this, I'm going to go eat this, or maybe I should learn to cook this, which is what we're going to do today. Today we're going to learn to make steak au poivre, which is a traditional French food, or a French recipe from, you know, your typical bistro. Nothing crazy like you have to go find it in some crazy expensive restaurant or anything like that. This is just traditional French comfort food. Super simple, super amazing. Let's get to it. Today's main attraction is going to be the steak. We've got a New York strip here. It's about an inch and a half thick. It's got good marbling. It's got a little cap on it, which I'm probably going to trim off just so we can maintain some nice consistency. This will probably like tense up in the pan and we won't get like an even shape for our meat, and it'll kind of affect the mouthfeel of everything as well. So we'll just kind of take out some of the connective tissue and whatnot just to make sure we got something really nice. Our pepper cream sauce, or cream pepper sauce, whatever you want to call it, is going to be made with beef stock, some heavy cream, cognac or brandy. It's got a really sweet flavor to it. We're going to cook all the alcohol out of it. This is very important to have. You can't really do it without it. Some black pepper, got some butter, and along with our steak we're going to have some nice red leaf lettuce salad, which we're going to make a vinaigrette, a little Dijon balsamic vinaigrette. I'm going to use some of this French Dijon, some of this, well, this is actually a balsamic reduction, and it has a little bit, it'll add a little bit more sweetness to it. We don't want it to be too sweet, and this is super easy to make your own salad dressing, so don't even sweat it. Got some olive oil here. This is actually my aunt's olive oil that she makes. I just have it in a really cool bottle. Salt, pepper, you know the drill. Some of this guy, some of this guy. Now to prepare our meat, we're gonna take off some of the fat that I mentioned earlier. Additionally, so we can get a really good crust on this guy, we're going to take some paper towels, maybe fold it over a couple times, after letting this rest at room temperature for about 15 minutes, just so you don't want to cook a cold piece of meat, because if you do that, it won't cook evenly. So we just want to get all the moisture off of the surface of this, so when we add our salt and pepper, it sticks, and when it touches the pan, there's no additional moisture that's going to come out and boil to prevent us from browning. It's a thick piece of meat so it can handle a fair amount of salt. Some of it's going to come off in the pan. I'm going to add a touch of olive oil. We just want that to coat the steak. This will help everything. Pan is up to temperature. So we got our pan super hot here, outside of holding your hand above it and noticing that it's extremely hot. Just grab a little bit of water and throw it in the pan. If it beads around like this, then you've got yourself a super hot pan. Lay the steak in away from you. Bring it downstairs to finish. We want it to be searing and cooking through at the same time on the other side. Good. That wasn't remotely sketchy, but we're going to transfer onto a plate with a little bit of foil. It is super hot. We're going to grab our towel. This is the fond I'm talking about. This is what you want. So to use that fond, we're going to deglaze the cognac, which will help lift up everything that's on the pan. We're going to get that to reduce to about a caramel consistency. I need a little more here, so I added it. Now we're going to toast our peppercorns. just till you smell them a bit. Come in with our beef stock. Make sure we're getting everything off the pan that we can, get all the flavor, reduce that by half. Then comes the cream. Add in small amounts until I see the color that I'm looking for. Coats the back of our spoon really nicely. Our butter. And now to make our vinaigrette, we're going to start off with some Dijon. I'm sort of eyeballing this, just kind of going for the flavor that I think it'll give me. The ratio is usually 1 part vinegar to 3 parts oil. So for example, 1 tablespoon of whatever acid you want, so like the lemon juice or whatever, or the vinegar, and then we'll go in with 3 times that amount with our oil, which I'm using olive oil. Salt, pepper to season always, and I can't really stress enough that this is just something you're gonna have to eyeball and just kind of work out the consistency that you want. Always remembering to have fun, of course, because when you don't have fun while cooking, you don't cook. After achieving the consistency which you want, which mine is this, we'll start making our salad, which is the red leaf lettuce. We're just going to use the ends of it because I want it to be very light. I actually considered using some onion that I had left over, so I just sliced it up real quick. A little julienne, add that in, just like a nice, it adds a little bit of brightness to the salad, a little bit of crunch as well. Keeping in mind that we don't want a lot of dressing, we just want it to lightly coat the outside to create a sheen, and then we're ready to go. So for plating purposes, I'm just going to cut this into slices, and if you are going to serve it like this for people, make sure you do cut in thick slices because it'll retain the heat longer and won't get cold on the plate faster. Try and use a hot plate if you can, so you don't put this nicely cooked meal on a cold plate, and then, where does your effort go? You got a cold steak on your plate. Even if it's cooked well, it's not the same. Now using my knife to press down at an angle like this, I can sort of fan out the pieces for plating, slide my knife under, rotate, and then get it onto the plate. Now I know it's not a perfect medium rare, but I did have to go up and down a flight of stairs to make this happen, so give me a break. After we got that all sorted out, we're just going to add a nice little bunch of our salad and then pour over our sauce. There it is, Steak Au Poivre from scratch. I hope you try it. I hope you like the video, and if you're enjoying the content, please like, subscribe, comment, share if you can. Regardless, remember to have fun while cooking, and I'll see you next time.